started here tonight. Let's call the meeting to order. Neil, you're going to take the roll call. Yeah.
Wayne Feldmeyer.
Here.
Larry Gupta.
Here.
Jonathan Glatzky.
Here.
Josh Grant. And Jim Weaver.
Here.
And Greg.
Here.
And Cindy Ray.
And Cindy Ray.
If I
But
take
you
the
are
roll,
here.
then that would probably work easier.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. We had some minutes. Did everybody have a chance to look those over from the last meeting, which was, gosh, that was July? I think it was July.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay,
Second.
all right. We have Jim and Greg. Those. Any discussion on that? In a minute? If not, all those in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, now we're moving on to our notice of public hearing 980. We have an applicant, Bruce Mann. Sure, come on forward. We're gonna have you, Amelia, read the request here.
All right.
You can come and join us. You're Bruce, right?
Hey.
Oh. Have a seat. Just have a seat. Perfect, thanks.
Please take notice that an application has been made by Winona Homes on behalf of Bruce Mann at 21888 Broughton Drive in Spring Grove for a conditional use permit to have a dwelling in the agricultural district in Black Hammer Township on the following premises: part of the east half of the southeast quarter in section 32, township 102, range 7 in Houston County. Said applicants are standing in making application as key owner of said described land. A hearing on this application will be held at the Houston County Commissioner Room, City of Caledonia at 5:30 p.m. on Thursday, September 26, 2024. All persons having an interest in the matter will be given the opportunity to submit comments relative to granting or denying said application or attend the hearing. To be included for review by the Planning Commission prior to the meeting, comments should be mailed to the Environmental Services Department or emailed to myself unless you received by Tuesday, September 17th of 2024. All comments are considered part of the public record.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have anything to add? Would you like to?
No,
Your own words. You have a
No.
great application here. You have a lot of information. So is there anything else you'd like?
Yeah,
to
there's
add?
been quite a bit that's already happened there. A lot of permits for a well and the septic system and the shop and just now getting ready to try and get the house in before winter.
Mhm. Leaves are falling.
I know.
Definitely. Okay, let's see, is there any public, did we get any public comments, email or calls, anything about that? And I also spoke with Clayton Johnson from the township, and he was aware of the plan and had no issues with it.
Okay.
From Black Hammer. Let's see, why don't we go through, now what we do, we go through all the findings, with this, committee. And so let's go, if there's no further questions from the board members.
I'll just add, I was able to visit the site and I was able to visit with Bruce and everything seems to be in order.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody else? I was out there as well, but,
I was there, I see no problem.
okay, thank you.
I'd like to pull the findings, I think it's 9 and 12 and 14, 15.
14, I think, yeah, Greg, okay. Thank you. Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Okay. Jonathan. And all those in favor of looking at those findings, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, let's get into the findings. And then we'll look at each one and vote on.
All right, so number 1, that the proposed use conforms to the county land use plan. Staff analysis says that the land use plan makes numerous references to preserving prime agricultural land and the fact that non-farm dwellings are only allowed on natural ground.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
You guys are always welcome to modify things to. Feel free. So number two, that the applicant demonstrates a need for the proposed use. Analysis is that the applicant has family in the area and would like to establish permanent residence here. And I thought that was my understanding, but if that is incorrect, please correct me.
Well, the
They use
property,
that.
yes, I,
So it is correct or?
Yeah, you're really.
yes.
Okay, so anything else to add on that? Are we good? Okay,
Nope, that's you.
okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, you guys will have to forgive me because I'm not used to this kind of thing.
That's ask questions if you don't understand what we're doing here. It's for us, it's straightforward, but
Some days we
not
don't
for
know
you.
what we're doing either.
And well,
Kind of get through it, get through the motions here. Okay, all in favor of that finding, please say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Motion carries. On to 3.
Three, that the proposed use will not degrade the water quality of the county. Analysis is that the largest pollution potential of single-family dwellings is adequate treatment of septic, but a septic system has already been permitted and installed.
Okay, and that's a new septic system.
yes. Yes,
Okay. No questions, all in favor, please say aye.
there is as well, there is a well on the property as well. Fairly new, year old or
Three,
something like that.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, any opposed? Said all those in favor. Everybody in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed?
No,
Okay, motion carries.
when you said it, all in favor, I raised my hand.
I bet you are. That wouldn't make sense, really. Okay, number 4. Go ahead, Amelia.
Number four, that the proposed use will not adversely increase the quantity of water runoff. The applicant will need to meet all requirements of their erosion control plan to address any runoff concerns before, during, and after construction, but the addition of a single-family dwelling should not adversely increase the quantity of water.
Okay, all those in favor of that finding? Please say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Number 5.
That the soil conditions are adequate to accommodate the proposed use. The soil survey of Houston County identifies slope as the main limitation for building sites on 401D soils due to it requiring extensive land shaping and recommends that the building be designed to conform to the natural slope of the land.
So that's the recommendation. Okay. Any discussion? Questions? All those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 6.
6, that the potential pollution hazards have been addressed and that standards have been met. Analysis is that adequate treatment of septic is likely the biggest potential pollution hazard, but a septic system meeting minimum state requirements has been permitted and installed.
Okay. It was discussed. All those in favor, please say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 7.
7, that adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided. Analysis says that this is an existing developed site, so many utilities are present. If any new installations are necessary, all costs are the responsibility of the applicant.
Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Okay, moving on.
8, that adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide sufficient off-street parking and loading space to serve the proposed use. Analysis is that there is sufficient off-street parking to accommodate typical residential use.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Skipping 9 down to 10.
So 10, that the conditional use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for purposes already permitted. Analysis says that the primary use of surrounding acreage is agricultural, and the addition of a dwelling will not impact the ability to continue to use those properties in that manner.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 11.
11, that the establishment of conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly of surrounding vacant property for predominant uses in the area. Analysis says that the surrounding predominant use is agricultural fields. This dwelling meets the density standard and will not impact surrounding area.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 13.
13, that the density of any proposed residential development is not greater than the density of the surrounding neighborhood or not greater than the density indicated by the applicable zoning district. Analysis says that this request meets the required agriculture protection district density limitation.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 15.
15, that site-specific conditions and such other conditions are established as required for the protection of the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare. Analysis says that a non-farm dwelling should not negatively affect the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. We have a motion to accept the findings as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Thank you. Greg, the second. Okay. All right, let's do a roll call.
Josh is not here, so Jim Weezer,
Yes.
Jonathan Glasspool,
yes.
Larry Gausted,
Yes.
Wayne Feldmeyer,
Yes.
Cindy Wright,
Yes,
Greg Myrie.
Yes.
great, thank you. You want to read the recommendation, Amelia?
The recommendation is to recommend that the Houston County Board approve a conditional use permit for a single family dwelling under 40 acres with 2 conditions in Black Hammer Township. That the permittee shall comply with all federal, state, and local laws and regulations. And 2, that the county may enter into the premises at reasonable time and in a reasonable manner to ensure the permit holder is complying with the conditions and all of their applicable statutes, rules, and ordinances.
Okay, any discussion on the recommendation? If not, do we have a recommendation to go to the Houston County Board?
I'll make a recommendation to pass CUP for this guy with the recommendations 1 and 2.
Okay, thank you, Greg. Second.
Second.
It's
I'll
Jon-
second.
Jonathan first. Okay, great. All right. Can you take a roll call vote on that one?
Jim Weezer,
Yes.
Jonathan Glasspool,
Yes.
Larry Gausted,
Yes.
Wayne Feldmeyer,
Yes.
Cindy,
Yes.
Yes.
Findings are going to be submitted to the Houston County Board of Commissioners on October 1st. I think it's their review of that. And then the application and any stipulations here are presented to the county commissioners for their final approval.
that's next week at one of their regular board meetings. I don't know that you necessarily have to attend that. Most people don't unless there's anything to. Greg is the commissioner delegate on the planning commission, so he usually will fill them in, anything that.
I would say if you gotta travel to come here, don't come.
I have to go back to work, so
Well, that's fine.
I'm not gonna be here, but. So what are they gonna be looking at?
Nothing. All we do is take the recommendation from.
Oh, I see, okay.
Those findings that we just discussed one by one, make sure you meet those guidelines. That's what they approve or look at, and then they approve of the motion to move forward.
Sure,
We
okay,
recommend it.
okay, great,
Our group move it forward to them.
perfect.
So I will follow up with you on Tuesday after the meeting and let you know how that went, and then you already have your building permit application in. So I will, if they do approve everything on Tuesday, I'll get that out.
Perfect. Well, I guess my question then is this, I have a septic, or not a septic, I'm sorry, excavator that is kind of online, and then the concrete guy is kind of online, and the house is already basically in the middle of being built, so.
It's a prefab.
We-
It's not-
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it's a prefab, yeah. Yeah, they're not building it in my backyard, but.
Where we need doors.
So when can I tell the excavation people and the concrete guy that they can go ahead and get started? Because
Get that, being you're already at the septic, that's half battle, so I'll try to get that done Tuesday.
Perfect.
So you can maybe tell them one thing.
Wednesday, okay.
The final approval from the Board of Commissioners hopefully comes on
Yeah.
Tuesday morning.
Oh, okay.
That's assuming they will.
That's, but we can, yeah, but we
Okay.
have not finalized it yet.
Well, and that's fine. That's fine. I just want to make sure that I can let them know because again, I'm gonna be gone for another month, so.
Okay.
It's turned off till next Wednesday.
I'm gonna turn all the keys up, yeah.
Not even a week, maybe, hopefully.
And your home's a modular home?
Yes, it'll be a modular
Yeah.
home, but it'll be on a walkout basement.
Yeah, and it won't take long to make them in the factory.
No, I think, Wade told me that, the end of October or the first of November. it'll
Once
be-
they start on it, from the first time they work on it, the time it gets completed, it's probably less than 2 weeks.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the way mine,
Yeah, they whistle through them pretty fast.
cause
so.
I wanted to change some colors of the soffit on mine. He says, too late, it's already wrapped up, ready to be delivered.
Oh,
And that
Which
was
is
in
good,
that
but not
two
the case.
thousand seven flood we had.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to postpone things for a whole month. Because excavators are all busy working on the roads and that.
sure.
You
Well,
didn't get your color changed?
Nope,
nope.
we live with it. Well, we just drove around looking at different houses throughout different towns, getting color schemes.
Sure,
The more you look, the more confused you got.
right.
So you must know Truman Whiskey and Brad Pop.
Yeah, Truman is my uncle and Brad is my cousin's husband, so
All you people are related.
evidently.
Way back
Here's
then.
the plan. So we've got that.
Perfect,
The plan.
thank
Looks
you.
good.
Good luck.
Well, thank you, folks.
Thank you. Touch base with you.
That'll be great.
Thank you for coming.
Oh, absolutely.
All right. Let's see, further business, just a follow-up maybe July, when we met, we were talking about the follow-up with townships. And, like I said, I've been checking things out with and talking personally with the townships or someone from the township. And, we haven't had many requests in the last couple of months, but so far that's going pretty well. And then if we can have people make sure that we look at the site, I think that's great, but we just can't go as a committee.
And Amelia put my name down for Gmail, for notifying me about permits. And
Yeah, I don't think we've had anything in U10.
Oh, for the
I
township.
did add.
Yeah.
Mhm, Good.
Because our clerk
Yep.
doesn't seem to
She doesn't get it all.
bring it forward to. us.
Yeah.
You know,
Every township representative I've spoken with in the last several months has had some good input on how they need to be involved.
Yeah.
And that's great. And I said it's a two-way street. If they have any questions, they know about it, it can, come to us too.
When I was campaigning, same thing.
they want
Yes.
more input.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but say that email or Amelia, you email the secretary and he's 65 years old and. The guy they should be is the guy 25 next to him. He should be.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The guy with that 65, he well, I don't know how to do it, and be in the same boat, so I can't.
Well, but I think that the representatives from the township really appreciate the respect of contacting
Yeah,
them, because they
right,
know their
yeah,
township,
yeah.
better than some of us, so. I
It's great.
think this works well.
No. Every permit does not have to come before us, does it?
No.
No.
Um,
does not.
Just regular zoning permits can be done administratively. So even like any house that's over 40 acres, then we just approve those in our office, full sheds, things like that. Are all done just in the office.
Right, yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
And usually when I get a question on, let's see, what about my screened in porch or whatever, but I point them in your direction. Like, you better check that out because it may not be as complicated as you. So that seems to be working okay.
And if you guys ever hear from townships that they're not getting anything, tell them to reach out to me. Because, like I said, at the township officers meeting, I sent out an email to make sure that, or if you had any updates, let me know. And I could get changes made, and I think I only heard from 4 people. And maybe I need to assume that the other ones didn't get the email, I guess, I don't know. Most times people say, oh, I got it, I just didn't have a problem. But
How often do they meet? Amelia?
townships meet monthly, and
Yeah.
then the
Mhm.
office. And then you have,
Count,
no, that was
Officer
your annual
meetings.
meeting.
pardon,
Officer meetings for township, how often do you do that?
oh God, whenever we think we need one, we haven't got a set schedule for the township association.
Okay,
That's what you're talking about.
Yes. Yeah, because that would have been probably a good one. You know, I would like to attend that too, just saying.
We just had a
Nobody knows.
township association supper. But we talked about going back to our spring meeting for the townships. They used to call it the weed meeting. And that was very informative, get some ideas from the townships and that, and then have our yearly supper in the fall. That's just be a supper. And
Okay.
so,
Speaking of weed, that's the next subject. We're gonna ask about the ordinance draft update.
And even the not just weed, but it's been my goal to start doing some of those meetings again, and we just don't have the staff to do that, but maybe one of these years we'll get there, so that might be a goal, like February, March.
Oh, okay.
For in the summer, but anyway, that was the next thing is we, in October, we're gonna look at the cannabis ordinance, and if you guys need another copy, let me know, but there was some items highlighted in there, that were allowed, or that they're looking for you guys to kind of, make a decision on, and if I recall correctly, it was like what districts maybe that you wanna see that take place in. And so in October, it'll be an official agenda item, and we'll kind of get your opinion on all those highlighted areas. And then I'm gonna take that draft to the Board of Commissioners, and I think it's like 2 weeks later at their work group session to get their input. And then we'll bring it back in November, for like your official final draft review and public comment if there is any, and then, and a recommendation, so that'll be, voted on by the Board of Commissioners there towards the end of November, early December, so it's in place by January 1.
So we discuss it again at the November,
Yeah.
finalize our draft version at the November meeting.
But if you got anything, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say October to November is kind of a quick turnaround, because it's moved up because of Thanksgiving, so
Oh, sure.
there will be, but yeah.
If you have any comments or talk or want to know something, like kind of get it in on second week in October, that's our work group session.
Oh, okay.
Or if you want to attend.
I mean, you can come to that and if you got some, express anything you want to talk about,
Okay,
that's the time.
that's probably a good idea.
'Cause that's what
One
we're
thing we
talking
should bring up is the fact that people want this marijuana and keep it in households. We should make them sign something that say they do it. Because if a cop stops somebody and he's high on dope, the cop will have to treat him differently. You know. See, I got a next door neighbor that smokes dope all the time. And he is so hard to work with. You don't realize. He's taking a puff on stuff all the time because he complains about back pain. He's got brain pain more than anything else. You know. And if we all gotta live with this in the future, I wanna know who's on it and who isn't.
well, I know many years ago, before I started having all my surgeries on my spine, they wanted to put me on medicinal marijuana. And I said, no. I said, you gotta kind of live with what you got. My mind at that time could really override my pain. I could think over it. I kept myself busy and I didn't recognize my pain at that time. But
You guys knew all the people that are putting out little patches of marijuana on
it's
their property.
all over the place.
It's all over now.
I think even Marty said that. It's all over the place. You know,
It's,
Yeah,
for their
the
own personal use.
Enforcement's gonna be tough, you know. that has-
and enforcement is tough already.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be harder for the cops, you gotta admit that. And how many of these people own guns? You should outlaw them, if they smoke marijuana, they can't have guns. That's
luck.
the,
Yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Hopefully we'll-
You're gonna-
Okay. Our public health director, they've been involved. The sheriff is one I always forget to inform, but hopefully he can attend or provide.
it's,
Yeah.
It's bad, it's can't arrest anybody.
So yeah, all those kind of big departments that are players will.
Just for an example, I had this same guy who smokes dope all the time. He went to my cabin and he left candles burning all night. And when we came to the cabin, all of these smoke detectors were blaring. What can we do? Not a thing, you know. Can't do a thing to them. You know, well, that's gotta change.
I think the whole problem we got now is the state mandated, passed a law, it's legalized.
Yeah, and everybody
But they
thinks it's
passed a
legal
law
only.
on to us to make our recommendations. And the county gets nothing out of it for tax money.
Well,
We get the
deci-
headache.
Decisions need to be made and then it needs to be clarified, you know, as much as you possibly can before it's out there and people are already doing it. So it's a tough one. I have a question about, so that document, is that the one that you're gonna send to me that you handed out tonight that we need to look at that highlighted, or do you have more highlights that we're gonna discuss next month or?
That was one I handed out for you guys,
Oh, the previous one.
Yeah.
Okay,
but I can send that, or I will send that to you, or
yeah.
if you want a copy.
And then there will be, so then the one for discussion in October has some highlighted changes proposed.
I think they're just left, not necessarily the changes, just like we need your input here,
Okay.
like what's on the district. So
Okay, so that's what we need to concentrate on.
Is there a way now that a police officer could take these people in and get them checked for dope?
that I don't have an answer.
They have to be doing something pretty nasty from this.
There's-
the rest of them.
What they're doing
Just for
too, they're in an accident or cause an accident, it's probably more like drinking, you know, alcohol.
Under the influence.
Under the, they're suspecting that they're under the influence, so. You know, they could be.
The trouble with the way we got people act like that all the time anyhow.
Yeah, correct.
They're normal.
I don't know, I'm sure they can smell that in the car, just like they can smell
Well,
alcohol.
that new marijuana smells like horseshit.
My neighbor,
When I smell horseshit, I just don't get into it.
my neighbor was a cop in Milwaukee. And my neighbor uses it, you know.
Yeah.
And he stopped her one day, he come over and told me that guy was using some good stuff today, he said, you could smell it right away. So there's a different odor to it. But
It all smells like horseshit to me.
well, I just think the state threw us under the bus
I think they did too.
in plain terms.
For the horse, definitely,
So
that happened.
a lot
so.
of politics, a lot of politics.
Here for the local discussion for the board.
We need
Oh,
this at the end of the.
You mean for the previous meeting? Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think we were.
He was
I
up
was just gonna say, if you guys wanted to film it. There.
You have the moratorium, right?
Yep.
Sure,
Did you get a copy?
I didn't.
Oh. Right here.
But if they made everybody that smoke marijuana sign a seal.
No.
You get it. It may be illegal on until they got arrested for something.
They don't make you sign it. It's weird.
Yeah.
I gotta answer some.
Okay,
I don't have anything.
is there anything else anybody has?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Favor? Second? Motion and second, thanks Larry. Mhm.
I'll second.
You can third it.
I beat you to it.
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No.
We're gonna have-